If I could have gone back and said that to myself, it would have saved me a lot of strife of, I should be here by now. You know, putting all this extra weight on not achieving a thing right away.
How many times have you quit?
It's gonna be long, but keep going.
Hey, it's Adam, and you're listening to the Adam Cobb Show. Weekly content devoted to all things fitness, finding your center, and fumbling through fatherhood. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. We hope this is a space that you come to, that you can feel connected. We're better together. Please subscribe and follow all of our social channels so you don't miss a thing. Let's listen to today's episode. I have the absolute pleasure in having my boy, my brother, yes, Ralph Lammie Jr. on the show. Welcome, Ralph.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're here today, and I will introduce Ralph. I like to do professional intros, and then I like to do personal intros. The professional intro is that, Ralph, you are an actor, and you also pick up and do different jobs along the way, right? Whatever kind of allows that acting life to live.
Survival jobs, but I'm calling them investment jobs now.
Okay.
That's what they do.
Survival jobs to investment jobs.
Yeah. It's an energy switch.
That's an energy switch. Goodness.
Yeah.
God. Stop it right now.
That's it. That was easy. Okay,
Holy
great.
moly. Oh, man. Goodness. Oh, man. And on a personal level, you are someone who's always invited to our house. Daisy loves you. Really think of you as part of the family.
Yeah.
We've spent some special times together. We met in a Ann Noble's class.
Yeah.
You were my first scene study partner, and we partnered up. And to practice that scene, we went all the way up on Runyon Canyon, and we hiked Runyon, the hard part, the west side of Runyon Canyon. Why are you laughing?
So it was a hard hike, and I had to take a break. Man, I was on my back at one point, and Adam's just standing over me, and his shade's just kind of like giving me a little comfort at the time. I'm like, oh, no, wait a minute, hold on, get from, don't stand over me.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
and the joke was that, like, and you were supposed to be in the scene, you were meant to be what for me?
I was his commanding officer. I was the strength in the scene.
You were the strength in the scene. And there was a moment when we were going back to rehearsing where it said, we joked and we were like, well, how am I supposed to be the strength in the scene? Because you were shading the sun from my exhausted ass up on Runyon Canyon when I was laying on the ground. And I was like, we'll get there. We'll shift it.
We're going to figure that one out.
We did. We did.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Shout out to Ann Noble. We love her.
Ann.
Award-winning playwright Ann Noble.
She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So not only have we had those experiences, you know, of course we work out together. We've done celebrations together. You've come to Scarlett's birthday, which to me is like one of the key moments as a dad. And when somebody comes to your kid's birthday who's 2, you know, it's like you really probably don't necessarily want to. There's a lot of other things going on in your life. And somebody comes, that just means a lot to our family. So we're grateful.
It was a good time. Like I'm like, okay, what do I do here? You know, I don't have a kid. I'm like, how do I? And then of course you guys always make me feel welcome, and it was beautiful, man. To commune with you guys.
Easy, man. But you're also the guy that's helped me move.
Yeah.
When I had to move an office, when I had to move things in the dojo, and you were always down to like, okay, and you had a moving job in your past. In your past life, basically. And you were like, we'll just move things around and we see how they work. And ever since then, that's been something that I've held on to, that even Daisy and I are moving recently. And I said, you know, Ralph says, we'll just start moving things and they'll start to like sort themselves out. You had like a theory on that or a mantra with that, didn't you? Something
you got to remind me, sorry.
I don't remember.
It's when you're loading or unloading
when we're like moving furniture. I remember going, well, I don't know if that fits here. And you said something like, we just got to like move it and like kind of find out or something like that.
That one's not ringing a bell for me, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we think of you when we do.
Okay.
That's all you got to know. You're one of the more thoughtful, human beings I know, always super duper considerate and also really open, and we have a joke because we'll work out sometimes and I'll say the gym is a great, easy place for men to ask for help.
Yeah.
And you will never ask for help, and I'll say, Ralph, no, you need help right now.
I know you need help.
And then, so we kind of like, we had some brotherhood moments where we had to fight through that and get through that. And it's been really special because that's also like made this brotherhood stronger. Yeah.
And I appreciate that, man. I definitely didn't ask for help the other day and I hurt my wrist because of it. I told you that closed bench grip we had going and I was stuck under the bench for like maybe 10 seconds. And
not with me though.
No, not with you.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't let me hang like that.
No.
And I refused to ask for help. And I was like, what is my problem?
Yeah.
So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, you're getting better at it. I bring that up because I think that it's a thing that most people deal with. Ask for help's a hard thing. And I've just had to start asking for help because I had that injury and I had to ask my pops for that and mom for that. And I started warming up to that idea. And, but we've gone to sort of, so to speak, battle together when we're training, building strength and stamina. Also when we're just building brotherhood, but also, we go in church together. We've done a bunch of things together. Yeah. So it's just been a really special friendship. And I really want to have you on because of the actor that you are. And, as we started talking about this, it made me think about that most artists and most actors, that it lives inside of them, but they don't necessarily like get to do it full time or make a full grand living of it. They're doing other side gigs. And I think that's like where probably 99.9% of artists live is in that space. Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe today, if we could explore this space with you today around your artist's journey. And I don't want to talk about the glamour. I want to talk about the grit.
Yeah.
Does that sound cool?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay.
We never, no one really explores that.
Yeah. And I think it's like, it's sort of like the untold story that most actors are working through, right? It's the resilience factor, right? Building that resilience, building that, sort of like building a resilience to the word no.
Yeah.
Because you hear it all the time. Can you tell me about that word and what's that like for you?
Well, I'm actually going to take it a step further than no. I think silence is worse than no. It's the days when you're not auditioning and you got nothing going on and it's up to you to determine your day. Like there's nothing coming from the industry at you. So like that silence I think is way more deafening than no. Because at least no means you got up, you did something, and sure, you get a no. But worse is nothing at all.
Okay, worst case scenario and then best case scenario. Worst case scenario, what does Ralph do with the silence?
Worst case scenario? Probably go to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, probably go to the bar and forget about it. But as you know, part of my journey, I'm sober. And so, thank you, sir. And can't really depend on that anymore. So I am trying to find new avenues to work with that, to work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. And best case scenario?
Best case scenario.
In the silence. What are you doing as an artist in the silence? Best case scenario.
Man. Well, you get up, you go commune with friends, you work with them, whether it's just a little script analysis or
When you say you mean you?
Yeah. I mean me. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. Yeah.
It's one of my weird things. Right. I've done it now 1,000 times on the show. So
so I like to get up and go either work with friends, hop in a class, just something to stay busy.
Okay.
Stay sharp, more so. Busy's kind of I didn't want to say busy, to say sharp.
Yeah. So sharpening that sword.
Yeah. As
an artist is important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you give me a few more, like one or two other ways that you sharpen that sword?
Let's see. Well, so class, I mentioned script analysis, but just reading and breaking down scripts, I think is really important, man. Reading comprehension is a big part of our job.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how many of us don't have it as down packed as we should. So reading comprehension is a big one. So yeah.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, iRobot. So I'm on a Will Smith phase right now.
Okay.
And so iRobot, I did I Am Legend recently, and now iRobot.
What'd you notice in I Am Legend wait, did you notice anything? Like, what did you notice from the actor lens versus the everyday lens?
Well, the biggest thing is there's a lot of exposition on it because it's obviously just him most of the time. And the man's got charisma. So I'm like, how do you like to be able to command my attention, and he's just there existing. He's not talking, he's just existing in this space. So as an actor, I'm like, so how do you own your space? Like, how do you own your space? So that's a question I've been asking myself, like in a scene and as well in life. Like right now, I don't feel like I'm owning my space in here. I'm in your podcast, and I'm taking up some space, but I'm not.
I want you to take up all the space you want. Okay.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, sir. This is
All
your
right.
space, man.
All right.
This is your space, your seat.
I'm gonna spread out a little bit.
Yeah, spread out.
Yeah.
Man. You tank. We pull that tire in the sand. He's a tank. You want to get in front of Ralph? No way. Head down, hoodie on.
Ready to go.
Watch out. We just worked out just before we came. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that like for you?
Man, so just like he said, it looked easy on paper, but man, it didn't disappoint. Every so often I move, I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. We did a nice workout, and I was thinking, moving forward, we might have people come to my dojo, do a little workout together, and then come here because it sets the tone for like, hey, we can do hard things.
Yeah.
We can do something challenging. We can do, also there's a connection in that. There's a brotherhood in that, or a sisterhood or whatever. I'll have women on the show too, I'm sure at some point, but aside from my mom, hey mom. And back to your I Am Legend though. Okay, when it comes to Will Smith, like an athlete goes, I take a little part, of his game and a little part of his game and a little part of his game, and I try to mold myself. As an actor, what part of Will Smith's kind of acting ability do you start to study and go, I want to have a little bit of Will Smith in my acting? What part of that?
Right away when you say that, I think there's an authenticity that he brings that I really enjoy about him. I don't know if I can delve in deeper. I know I fully see him.
Yeah.
And he brings himself into his characters. And I love that about him.
Who else? Two other actors that really stick out to you that you want to sort of model, emulate, or just bring in a little part of their artistry into your work.
Okay, I have a name, but I'm not sure why yet, but he resonates with me so much as Jason Segel.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about him yet.
Yeah.
But I just love watching that dude work. Yeah, especially when he does drama. Like I'm such a big fan of Jason Segel's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I feel like this one's gonna be a given, but Denzel.
Sure.
That's
what about him? What about him? I know about him, but what about you?
He's dynamic, man. He's dynamic, commanding.
Yeah.
And I just don't ever not believe him. I don't care what he's doing. I don't ever, like from him being a hitman to a slightly on the spectrum lawyer in J. Israel. Like I don't never not believe Denzel. Like he's incredible.
Yeah, that's good. When you mentioned about Will Smith, because there was a lot of parts in that movie, I Am Legend, that he's not speaking. Yeah. And I just watched I Am Heath Ledger. And in I Am Heath Ledger, the documentary, it's one of my favorite things. I watch it probably once a month. And have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you gotta see it. Oh my God. It's one of the greatest things to ever watch. And in it, the director talks about Heath Ledger in Brokeback Mountain and how he didn't say much, but it was his ability to just hold you with his eyes and with his gestures and his ability to not say much, but really command. And I imagine as any actor, that's always the goal. The goal, yeah. Right? That's the goal. Okay. So when it comes to different goals and you have certain goals, right? As an actor, and whether you hit them or not hit them. And I'm wondering, part of this show is how to find your center. And I'm wondering on this artist journey, that's hard. How do you keep yourself grounded in all of the uncertainty that comes with acting? How do you keep yourself grounded? How do you find your center?
This is a very new practice for me, but I'm already reaping dividends is silence. Like just finding space for silence. I don't know, you come out of it, and I don't know, it's almost like when you restart your computer and it works a little fast, something happens when you restart your computer. It's the same thing for your brain. So silence is a big one.
What is your process of getting into silence look like right now?
Okay.
That's hard in this day, in this world where there's so many things grabbing our attention. Like, how do you get on the other side and be with silence?
Well, I live in the city, so it's not actually truly silent, but I set up a space. I set up a space, man. I got at my chair, have my little candles, and so I have this rock that I actually found on the beach when we worked out. For whatever reason, it like stays cold, and so like I hold that, and that just kind of is a grounding force for me, and then it just helps me like drop in. So yeah,
powerful.
Yeah,
powerful. That's interesting, and I've never shared this in the show, but when I had my knee rehab, I was in Fort Phoenix in Massachusetts, where I'm from, and I remember asking, like, God, like, give me a sign, like, what is going on right here? And I remember looking down and seeing a guitar pick, and I remember picking up that guitar pick, and I was like, give me something that grounds me here.
Yeah.
And I looked down at this bench in Fort Phoenix, and there was a guitar pick, and I remember thinking, like, that's the grounding element I needed. So I took that guitar pick and I put a G on it for grounding, but also I know how to play a G pretty well. G chord's pretty easy. And on the other side, I put F because I have a really hard time playing that damn F chord because it's almost like a bar chord. And so I have that, but I have that pick and it sits right on my desk. And I hold that thing through my Zoom sessions with clients. And I've actually never shared that, but
I didn't know that.
I didn't know about the rock
noticed
with
the
you.
pick. I noticed the pick, but I always like, okay, Adam plays guitar, duh.
Yeah.
I've seen the pick. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
you have
awesome.
this rock and you hold it and it grounds you. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to resilience, probably the most important thing in any career, but in acting in this uncertainty, the resilience is key. And I know we've talked a little bit about your faith, and it's something that we don't, shy away from here on the show. I'm curious how your faith plays out in your resilience right now, or through this last however many years you've been here in LA.
That one is just, you got to have faith in something bigger than yourself, because I don't just depending on myself, man. That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah.
So having the ability to like let my shoulders rest on God like that, it makes the walk easier. It just makes the journey that much easier, man. To be able to know that like that guy's got my back.
Yeah.
And like if you put something in here that I'm pursuing this thing, and so with that, it just allows me to like do that tank thing you talk about. Just put my hoodie on and keep trudging forward.
Yeah. And do you have any when there is like an uncertain moment, right? There's moments of setback or things like that happen. When it comes to your faith, like how do you keep it thriving or keep it in the forefront versus just forgetting about it, right? And just having doubt fill the room. Like, what do you do? Do you read your Bible? Do you pray? Do you talk to? What do you do?
All right, so best case scenario, I do. I pray, and my mom's a pastor, right? So she's my cheat code. I'll call her up and I'll actually have her pray for me.
Yeah,
I'll do that. And then worst case, I freak out on my own and like try to handle it on myself. And then I eventually make my way back to God. It always comes back to, even back when my faith wasn't in the front, I still always find my way back, and I leaned on him.
Yeah. As an actor, do you have any rituals or mentors that kind of keep you locked in and steady?
No, that's something I'm trying to build.
Okay.
But no real mentors as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any friends or anything like that have really kind of helped this journey so far?
I mean, one of my best buddies, Matt, is just, he's also an actor. And
okay. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt, man. Love you, dog. He's just a great guy. Another great guy like yourself. And I'm going to get you two in a room one of these days.
Okay. What's going to happen when we get in the room, Matt and I? What's going to happen?
Probably a push-up contest, man. To be honest.
Who's going to win?
My money's on you, actually. My money's on you right now.
All right, Matt, let's go. We can do it right here on the show live. Hey, I know you describe yourself. Do you describe yourself as an actor or an artist? And what's the difference?
I describe myself as an actor, but I want to be an artist.
Ooh, what's the difference?
Well, for me, I don't know. I feel like as an actor, I'm always trying to like get something right, to get there's this thing to get. But I feel like an artist just expresses themselves. They tell you their truth, and I don't care if it's right or wrong. It's just what I want to show you.
That's powerful.
So I want to be an artist.
How does Ralph define himself? How do you define yourself when you don't use the title of actor? How else do you define yourself?
So that's actually a big deal right now. I don't, and that's a problem. You know, like acting is as great as it is. It's just a job. It's not who I am. And I'm working on that definition. So maybe I'll have an answer for you next time.
Yeah, there's power in I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know a lot of, in the work that I've done and obviously friendships I have, there's a lot of people that, go on site and get really involved with the character and then come back and there's now who am I? Right? That's a real thing that actors deal with. Who am I when I'm home? Who am I when I'm, so I think it's a real question to explore. And I look forward to having that conversation with you in our time together and seeing what you come up with. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. I'm curious, how long you been out in LA?
2012. So what, me and math today have not been friends. So what is that? 12 years? Just
like
about
12, 13 years?
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you tell your younger self about this journey?
It's going to be long.
Okay.
If I could have gone back and said that to myself, it would have saved me a lot of strife of, I should be here by now. Putting all this extra weight on not achieving a thing right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have back said, it's going to be long, but keep going and don't get off on any exits. Stay on the highway. Keep going. Yeah.
Don't get distracted.
Don't get distracted.
Hence boundaries is your word.
Boundaries. Yeah.
For the year.
And, and people always think of boundaries like boundaries for other people. For boundaries for me, boundaries for myself. Yeah.
More people could do that. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Okay. Tell me the hardest moment so far for you as an actor and how you overcame that moment.
Realizing I have a long way to go when it comes to the craft. Like this, I feel like my tastes are higher than my ability. You get in the space of, I want to, be a series regular on this, or I want to lead in that, but I know me right now can't carry the load, or at least it'd be a struggle. I probably would attempt to. I'm like, I may make it out the other side. So having to face that, and the way I've dealt with this is just working, like literally just working, whether it's in class or if I book something, just working.
Yeah.
Just doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And deepening my work ethic too.
This is going to be a very hard question.
Okay.
You ready? I'm setting you up for it. A casting director sees this show. They listen to your authentic responses, your transparency.
Yeah.
And they're like, kind of has the look that we're looking for. And I want to cast this guy for something. What would you say? Like, what are like the 1 to 2 to 3 qualities that you bring as an actor that are your strengths? What are your strengths as an actor?
I am not afraid to have fun. I'm okay. Okay, being the fool. Like it's fine. Like I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna do my part. I'm going to work. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like I'm gonna show up ready to work. I'm gonna be a professional.
You show up.
Yeah.
I know that about you.
Yeah.
You're not afraid of hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
I tend to get along with most folks, even if they don't want to get along with you, like I still tend to find a way in, Because
that's big on set, like the chemistry, being part of the community. So you kind of fold in, you build that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's powerful. All right. Well, you heard it here, Yeah. Get this guy going.
Yeah, let's get some work.
Let's get some work. Let's go. Hey, what does your ideal day look like, and how close are you from living that ideal day? Tell me about your ideal day. You know,
Today was a pretty fantastic day.
Tell me about it.
I woke up, jumped right into my prayer life, and did some meditation, and trying to make sure you stay on top of that and track it is a big thing for me. And then got some good news. I got into this acting program, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
Then I talked to my dad a little bit, told him the news. And
how do you respond?
Just, good job, son. It's funny. Parents, they're like, son, until I see you on a billboard, keep trucking. It's fine. Then going to work out with you, man, was, we always have incredible workouts and great brotherhood sessions. And now I'm doing this. And this is, I was a little hesitant to come on and do this, but here we are. And it's some growth for me, man.
What made you hesitant?
Just being out and open, just being out and open like this. It's just something new, and sharing myself with the world, I guess, to a degree. Yeah. And that's a weird thing for an actor to say, but yeah,
it's a big deal. Yeah. Thank you for saying yes. If you had to rewrite the narrative that you tell yourself about where you are right now, what would it sound like?
If I had to rewrite the narrative about where I am right now, what would I say?
It's that you tell yourself. Because we always tell ourselves something a little different than what actually is happening, what is true.
I would tell myself that you're going to make it, man. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep working. That's literally it. Your work is going to pay. That's the narrative. Let me take all that back. Your work is going to pay off. As long as you keep doing the work, it's going to pay off one way or another. It's the thing I'm trying to remind myself. It's not the destination, it's the journey and the growth that happens along the way. So I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that we're paying off, which could also be named as like success. Like, what's your definition of success for you in this acting world that you live in?
I'm figuring that out again, man. I had an idea, but as I'm starting to get a little more clear on myself, that is changing. So I can't answer that one just yet either. I mean, I would like to be able to pay my bills solely with acting. That's something.
That'd be a cool goal.
That'd be a great goal, not to have side jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, powerful. How many times have you quit?
Shit. This year, what were we, 15 days in? I quit once already this year. That's not a joke. I quit once already this year. I couldn't tell you, man. You quit a bunch. You quit a bunch. But in the back of my head, I never really meant it, except for like last year. There was a moment where I think I genuinely quit for a bit. And in my head, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like I'm gonna go be I don't know why I would say this to myself. I'm gonna go be a fisherman or something. Yeah. I don't even know if that pays well, but I was like, I'm gonna go be a fisherman.
YouTube channel fisherman. Yeah.
No, I'm talking like talking like the dirty, grungy boat out on the water. No crew, man. No TV crew. Just yeah.
No, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing that Michael Phelps, in the heat of getting all of his gold medals, that he would quit on his coach every session. Every session, Michael Phelps would quit. So they said, like, basically Michael Phelps quit like every day. So he would quit for a second, he'd walk away from the pool, and then he'd get back in, and of course he'd keep going, and then he got all these gold medals. So you're in good company, is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's how I know he was pushing it, though, man.
Yeah.
For him to quit every session, he was leaving it in the water, I guess.
Yeah. I think about this artist journey and about this untold artist journey. What am I leaving out? What am I not asking? What's important to you in this journey? What's hard about it?
Assumptions and expectations, like assuming things belong to you, certain results. Also, those expectations from that. It's something that Gene had talked about before. Like you form thoughts and opinions on these assumptions that you've built that aren't really grounded in anything.
That was private for Gene.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Gene.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just thought it'd be funny. Please don't edit that. Please don't edit that. That was funny, right?
That was good.
Come on.
So we seriously gotta take me back. What was the question again? That was hilarious. Yeah. Gene, we okay? Okay. Okay.
No, we got it. We got what we're looking for here. The key though is that understanding that you start and stop. That's part of this life. I'm curious if you have like an age number or like a certain year number. Like if I don't, quote unquote, if it doesn't fully pay off, if I'm not successful by blank, then I'm going to go be that fisherman or go do something. Yeah. Did you have something set like that?
I thankfully I've never set anything in stone. And also people have said this a bunch, I don't have a plan B literally. Like I don't have those other skill sets I'd have to learn something completely new. I've got a lot of time put into this thing. So there's no real quitting.
That's very Will Smith of you.
Yeah. That's
speaking of Will Smith coming back around.
There you go.
Where he's known for that quote that I do not have
a plan B.
Because I go all in on plan A. So you're all in on plan A.
Yes.
Okay.
They say it's a 10-year business and we're coming up on that, but I also had to take into account these 6 or 7 years I wasn't actually, working that hard. So, we're at year 4 again. Yeah. We're at year 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah. What do you love about it?
Man. So I don't know. There's a thing that happens and it happened with us. Like you drop into this scene, you're in this flow with your partner and it's such an enjoyable experience for me. And then just like you get to live so many different lives. Like that is enjoyable. Like I like research. So that's fun for me. So I would like opportunities to do a lot more research on something that I have no clue about. And maybe that's gonna influence the rest of my life now. Like who knows?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
What is if you took like a handful of characters that you want to play, or maybe you have played or at least auditioned for, what would be the type of character that you're really interested in? Maybe 1 or 2 of them.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm like a Lord of the Rings fanatic. So in that realm, and then sci-fi, dystopian, future kind of thing. That's like my sweet spot.
Why?
So for the sci-fi thing, it's just like the world is shit all around you, and this guy like has to dig deep inside to just keep surviving. And I think maybe that appeals to me because that's how I feel on this journey. I don't think the world's shit around me, but like I have to keep digging inside and keep pushing forward. And like there's always this like thing that they're walking towards. I mean, Book of Eli is a good one. That's a very good example. Yeah.
We talk about this journey. We talk about not the glamour, but the grit. Part of that grit is these odds and end jobs that you have to do so that you have a flexible schedule so that you can go to the auditions, so that you have time to do these things. So I'm curious because I believe acting, from at least what I know, and please tell me if I'm wrong, is truly like the study of people and the curiosity of what it's like to be somebody else. I know Meryl Streep says that. She quote unquote says like, I'm always curious what it's like to be you. That's a Meryl Streep quote. And I'm curious as to in these odds and end jobs, in the grit of these jobs, what have you learned in these jobs and in maybe the people that you've met in these jobs that have helped your acting?
That we're all really similar. I keep seeing it's almost like in the movie The Matrix where like a blip will happen and like the thing repeats itself. I start seeing like trends with people. So I just realized how similar we all are. Yeah. And then also it's just another side thing. It's not really acting, but I've learned to protect myself from this idea of mediocrity. I feel like you go to these jobs, those kind of like these jobs where no one really cares about them. It's just, I'm here to make some money. Then there's this spirit of not really giving a shit about the job or much of anything. It's very easy to fall into that. That can bleed into you, and then that bleeds into your work outside. So that like I learned to protect myself against that when I go to those kind of jobs too. Yeah, that's really prevalent there.
In this option A, which is your dream, right? Okay. Option A, your dream, acting, leading role, a series regular. So far, what has been your biggest lesson in overcoming like personal challenges in pursuit of this dream, in pursuit of option A?
Worrying about it makes it so much harder, man. It's never as daunting as you've made it up to be in your mind. Like never.
Yeah. It's never that. Yeah. Gene's like, Yep. We're like, I know you're like, that's right. No. Yeah. There's someone watching and listening right now that's like, I want to pursue my calling, my art. I have an artist inside of me. Maybe an actor, but definitely an artist. What do you tell that person?
Start doing it. Start doing it. Don Cheadle said this thing. He's like, well, if you're an actor, you don't have to be on TV. Like, read plays. I used to hate that answer because I was like, well, you can only read so many plays and you can only get up and do a monologue in your room so many times. But I will say he's right, because you start doing it, and I don't know, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, is paying attention.
What do you call it?
I call it God. Okay. And you actually, no, both, but okay. I mean God. But something happens, it's paying attention to you, and it always leads into something else. And also be curious. Be curious about people and things. Be interested in things outside of yourself. Like that also opens up a lot of doors.
As we're wrapping this up here, I like to think of in these moments where you get auditions and different opportunities and certain things land, certain things don't. I imagine community is super important. And I'm curious, when you do get down, because that seems like that's part of this roller coaster. A lot of jobs, some jobs are like that, but a lot of jobs pretty steady. You know what you're getting. Yeah. There's so much uncertainty. I keep going back to I keep going back to that word uncertainty. Who do you lean on away from God? But I mean, like in your community, who do you lean on?
Well, as you know, I am someone who struggles with asking for help. So mostly it's been me.
Okay.
Mostly it's been me. But I have a great family system. I can lean on my parents, and I do have friends like yourself and a couple others that I can. Again, Matt, he's a good sounding board. So I'm not completely alone in it, but I mean, 9 out of 10 times, I'm figuring it out on my own, and I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I'm working. That's a boundary I'm working to adjust this year.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you heard from a friend or mentor about your craft or about life? What's the best advice you've gotten in your life?
It's a coach I'm working with right now, Edward Gelhaus, man. He
Edward what?
Actually, I think I'm butchering his last name, but I think it's Gelhaus. Hey, what's up, Ed? Just like, you're the person. So an acting thing, like you're playing this character, but like, no, you're not playing it. You're the character. Like, you are the character. Now, what are the parts of you that actually make the character? What are the parts of you that you can turn up? What are the parts you can turn down?
Oh,
yeah. And then also, this is I think this might be Ram Dass. I'm not sure, but like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Like, don't take it all so seriously.
Yeah.
This whole thing.
Don't take it all so seriously.
Don't take it all so. It doesn't mean don't be serious about things, but don't take it all so seriously.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will, man.
That's powerful.
I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah. A second close is obviously do a second close here. It's, how do you stay ready? What is the quote? If you stay ready, you don't
have to get ready.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
You stay ready. You
right.
Don't have
I've
to
heard
get
multiple
ready.
people say that. How do you stay ready? So that big break is tomorrow. How do you stay ready for that? You've talked a little bit about sharpening the sword, but I'm curious what else is in that. How do you stay ready so you don't have to get ready?
I think the most important thing is mindset, man. Talent, all that stuff, that matters. But if you don't have the mindset.
What mindset's that?
The mindset that you can do it, that you are worthy to do it, that you belong there. And just the confidence in your ability, whether you're just starting out or you've got 10 years in, the confidence in your ability to either grow or to use what you know.
How do you build that confidence so you have that mindset? How do you?
I heard this from Tony Robbins the other day, not from him, but you know, from a video. He said you build self-esteem and confidence from the little wins every day. It's like you did that monologue, you did this hard thing, and you keep doing those things over and over and over, and then you build that confidence. It's pretty soon that chest grows. Yeah.
Yes. I like to think of that. The wins accumulate and they compound.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Compound interest, man.
Yeah, compound interest.
Yeah.
And because of those little wins, that helps build your mindset, that helps build your confidence, and builds, obviously, probably moves you forward into action. Yeah. That's cool. And it sounds like your mindset and that confidence in stacking those wins is also a way that you stay ready. Also a way that you find your center. That's a way that you get here.
It's the work, man. Yeah, it's the work. It's just everything that encompasses, whether it's your meditation, your classes, it's the work, man. It's all of it.
Yeah. That's so good. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Show. I just so respect your work ethic, your loyalty, your presence, and your thoughtfulness. All those things, you know, and I really enjoyed this conversation with you and exploring something that isn't like, oh, guess what? I got my boy Ralph that's the leading role in this Marvel thing. Cool. That would be cool one day.
Can't wait for that. But
we'll have you on a second time. We'll have you on a second time, Gene.
You
know, for that. But like for this moment, to talk about the process.
Yeah.
Because people need support and help in that. So thank you for helping them, you know, and exploring this topic because it's not easy to do.
Yeah. I found myself searching internally. I found answers I didn't know I had. I found answers to questions I didn't know I had.
What's one thing you learned about yourself on this show, in this recording with Gene and I?
Okay. So as you know, me not returning to faith, but like making it more present in my daily life, I realized I hadn't gotten away from it as much as I thought I had. Because thinking back, couldn't you ask that question, like, what do you lean on? I was like, oh man, nah, it's been there. It's been there. And to rely a little less on myself, I learned that too. I need to, Yeah.
That's awesome. What a great learning. My goodness. Incredible reflection, like of yourself while we're recording. Gene, what do you think? Incredible. We wanted this episode to be very much about this universal resilience and not just about an actor's life and not about the glamour, but the grit of this and what it really means to roll those sleeves up and get dirty and not be afraid of hard work. And I know you're not that. You're not afraid of that. And thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. And I love to encourage you to get out there, make a difference. And we heard today what it's like for Ralph to, and how he goes about his mindset and also to how he finds his center. And I'm curious how you find your center. Until next time.